What's up, guys? It's Jim with Awaken TCG, bringing you guys another video today. Today we are going to play a leader that nobody has been talking about, and that is going to be the new ST12 Zoro and Sanji leader. Really wanted to highlight this leader because for some reason this leader just came out, and I really have not seen anything on them at all. I get the Eastern meta has already been solved, and this leader has been thrown to the wayside. People know that it's really not that great. I think people have known that green-blue as a color combination is really not that great. We've only had the Sanji leader from OPO2 and the Zoro Sanji leader with that color combination, and both have not been very good. I agree that they really don't have a lot of synergy, but I don't think that's a reason that we should give up on a leader that just came out, even if it's already been used for an entire set in the East. So this list here is very similar to the only list I could find online that has actually topped a tournament with this leader. I made a few changes just that I thought would be better for the deck, and I have tested it just a bit. It hasn't been a crazy amount. I've tried the film version. I've tried a kind of larger version with the 9-cost Zoro and Sanji. It just doesn't work. It's way too slow. At the end of the day, I think the only version that I've really found that works with this leader is going to be complete 2-cost synergy. So as you can see, if you have not looked at the deck list here, we have vast majority 2-cost cards. The only cards that are not 2-cost cards are this 4 of Ivankov here, which plays a 2-cost card. This 1-cost event here, which is just going to also play another 2-cost from the top of our deck for us while giving plus 1k, so it instantly pays for itself. And then this Raizo here, which is kind of just added card draw that we need to basically keep this deck going, because we're playing a lot of 2-drops and our hand goes thin really fast. So that is pretty much the idea with this deck. You're just playing these 2 costs that are going to get you incremental value and just kind of swarming board and overwhelming your opponent. I'd say the best cards in this deck are probably this 2-drop Sanji. It's your best target to restand with your leader effect. You could also do a Rouge, but it does not stack like Sanji's when attacking effect does. This is one of my favorites to swing with, because if you swing with him twice, he's actually just going to be a 7k on your opponent's turn, which is going to be really hard for your opponent to actually swing into. So really great there. Cards like Sugar, couple blockers like Rocinante and Killer that we can just bring out off stuff like Ivankov or this effect here. Just a ton of like really random niche cards. It really doesn't look like a deck that would work well together, but I've actually found it does work pretty decently. I like this Law as well. A 2-cost that you can pay 1 to bring out your Ivankov or your Raizo if that's all you have in hand. And then Ivankov bring out another 2-cost. The speed that this deck can swarm board is really fun to play, but obviously if we're swarming board, kind of like Zoro, we are going to fall when it comes to decks that can run Rob Lucci or Sakazuki, who can run not only Rob Lucci, but the new 2-cost event that bottom decks a 2 and a 1 as well. If we run into those decks, it's going to be really rough, and it can kind of just completely ruin the matchup, especially because Sakazuki can attack, bring one of our 2 costs down to 1, and then just kind of bottom deck 2 for free. But I've been having a lot of fun with this list, and it's definitely the most success I've had with this list. Really unfortunate that nobody is really trying to cook with this leader, so gonna do my part, and probably going to make this a forgotten leaders video, despite the fact that this leader just came out, guys. So let's go ahead and get into the gameplay. And getting into our first game here, looks like we're going to be going against green and yellow Yamato. He actually put us on second, which is great because we actually have a blocker in hand and Ivankov for the next turn. So we are definitely going to keep that. We draw into the Rosinante, but we're definitely going to play this Duval and set up our Ivankov for the next turn. So I think we definitely want to draw into a 2k. And then we will be playing this Usopp from the top of the deck, setting up another Ivankov in the future. So actually pretty ideal start, especially for this matchup. And looks like he's just going to go 8, which is going to just be blocked real quick. Fine with us. If he wants to attach a ton next turn, that is definitely fine with us as well. So going to swing 6 here. Let's hope he doesn't have a 2K, and this is something like an Okiku that he can't trigger out. Really great for us. We will deploy this Usopp. And then, let's see what we have here. We probably want to play Ivankov on the next turn as well. And I think we want to play it into this Law. So, let's go ahead and draw into this Chopper. And then, let's put this guy at the top of the deck. And then we want to draw into probably, I'd say another Ivankov, so I think that's fine. Okay, we'll keep that there. And if he really wants to go a ton, yeah, he's going to go 6, so we'll just give him an easy 2K. Definitely good because we put that one into hand here. So we will first play this Ivankov. This is going to play the Law from the top of the deck. And then this Law can actually deploy the Ivankov that we get next turn, which we set up, I'm pretty sure. And I think we just want to probably swing 5 and then develop a Sanji, because Sanji is really strong. So we are just going to, we could actually, I think we're going to use Law Effect and we're going to restand this. So let's just attack here. Going to use card action. We'll return Usopp to hand. We will restand this Ivankov. Going to put a little bit of pressure on him now. And he'll get a Shura trigger, which is honestly no big deal. That's probably the best trigger we can see in this situation. Then we're going to swing with this Ivankov again. I think we're going to hold off. We just don't want our board to be rested. And I think we're just going to use this Law Effect now. Choose this Ivankov, and then we will deploy the Usopp, which we set up. Great start for us here. And then I think we are going to drop, what do we want to have next turn? I think we want to get into our 2Ks. And from there, we need some blockers. Do we have any blockers in hand? Currently, we have 1, which we can play next turn. So no rush to get there. And let's draw into a Sugar, just in case they drop a blocker or something we can't deal with. And then from here, we restood our Ivankov, so they cannot attack into it. He will go, looks like 8 with Okiku. If he really wants to go 10 with Yamato after the fact, we will definitely let him do that. Looks like he, yeah, gonna go 9. Nope, 10. That's fine with us. We could actually go 2K, 2K, 1K, 1K, which I'm probably just gonna do now that I think about it, because these Ivankovs can draw our hand back. So we were going to do that. I don't think we need this Law. I don't think we need this Usopp right now. So we will counter out of that. And now we have a pretty... Oh, he's actually going to forfeit. Okay. Great for us. I think that was a great first showing. But let's go ahead and get into the next game. And next game here, going against a red and purple kid. Let's go ahead and try to get a full game in this time around. We get the Usopp on curve, which we'll definitely choose to keep. Love the Usopp early, just so we can try to find our Ivankovs, as they are really crucial in this deck. I hate this top 5, and I'm going to place that at the bottom for sure. Let's go ahead and end turn here. Putting it now on 3 Dawn. I'm not too familiar with red and purple kid, but let's go ahead and see what he's running. Going to be running the film package with Karina. Pretty interesting. I've tried to run this card myself, but haven't found much success actually. This turn, probably going to play Devolve. We'll see what we get from there. Another 3 that I don't want to see. Really just fishing for our Ivankovs at this point. Going to put those to the bottom, and then we'll probably just swing 5 and play a Sanji. Sanji, probably the best card in this deck after Ivankov. Those are definitely the 2 that make this deck actually work. Without them, I don't think there's a build that really would make this leader shine over any other leader in the game. He'll go ahead and play the kid here and actually try to swing, not realizing he's still... Oh, he actually uses leader effect. So we'll take that one. Get it to hand. Nothing crazy there. And at this point, yeah, he cannot use Karina effect. So we're going to go ahead and rest the Karina and start swinging into it. And I think So let's do that, and then we will actually be bringing the Usopp back to hand and replaying it. Looking at our top 5 once again. So let's first swing with Usopp. We will bring it back to hand after. It'll give us a 1K. After that, we'll swing with Sanji, bringing him up to 6. No free blocks allowed here. Gonna give that to us, and then we will go ahead and swing at lead here. We're gonna use card action, bring back that Usopp, and restand the Sanji. Really strong play there, honestly. As we get to swing 8 now. Sorry, I completely forgot. Should have played the Usopp first. Sanji buffs himself when you have 5 or less cards in hand. That was definitely a pretty bad misplay, but he's actually gonna take anyway, so it probably doesn't make a difference. Other than the fact that he actually would have been a 7K on our opponent's turn. So getting the Ivankov here, which is exactly what we're looking for. And then what do we want to play off of it is our question. Probably a Duval, if I had to guess, would be really nice. Or another Sanji. I think I'd rather do the other Sanji. And then draw into another Ivankov afterwards. Play this Duval. Think I like that. Return those guys, and then we'll end turn. So at this moment in time, we only have 1 2K in hand, which is definitely not great, but can live around it. Kid's gonna play some pretty problematic cards in the future here. Yeah, he's gonna ramp on us, and then probably just gonna swing. Oh, he'll play an Uta blocker, which is, I don't know if I agree with that. I think I'll bring Sugar back to hand and just make blocking for him a little bit rough. So I think we're going to counter out of this one. We'll give him a 2 and a 1. At this point, if he wants to swing with his blocker, he can. So let's go ahead and swing 6 here. If he wants to rest something else, he is more than welcome. But we're going to go ahead and swing 6 with our lead after the fact. And then we will probably be bringing out Law. So let's do the math here. Sorry, guys. So it's going to be 6, 1, 2, 3 for an Ivankov. Ivankov's going to play another target. And I think that's all we care about at that point. So let's just go 7 here. Go ahead and attack for 7. We'll use card action, bring the Sugar back, and restand our Sanji. Now would be a pretty good time for him to Uta block, which, yeah, he's going to do. Bring himself down in Dawn, which is not good for him. But that is completely fine with us. So we're actually going to choose to bring out our Ivankov to play this Sanji. And I think we want to play this Law. I think we're going to leave the Law in hand. At this point, I think I get rid of this Usopp for Law. And then on our opponent now, on 9 Dawn. Best play on 9 Dawn for this deck, maybe like a 9 cost Whitebeard. Not really sure what this deck's going for on these larger turns. He's going to go ahead and play a 4 cost Uta. Bring back a Gordon. Oh, he's running a film package with this new card. That's pretty cool. I like that. We'll definitely just give him a block here and see what he does. He keeps leaving 1 Dawn up, which is definitely leading towards him having a Rad Beam in hand, which is almost guaranteed. So we're just going to keep going 6 here, make him give us 2Ks. Going to go and make him give us another 2K now. See if he has any left in the tank. It looks like he does not. He's going to start giving us 1Ks. So at this point in time, we can actually kind of go turbo. So let's swing with Ivankov for 5, and we will draw 1. We draw into the Duval here, which is nice. I probably should have... I don't know if I want to play this Ivankov. I'm probably just going to play it off Law Effect, so I think we'll just, in that case, swing 7, 1 for Law Effect. We can try to go for game here, but I'm going to leave up 1 for Law Effect. So we can actually go 8. We can go 8-8, or we can go 7-9. I think I'd rather go 7-9. because he has a Rad Beam. I don't want to play directly into a Rad Beam. So we're going to go ahead and take this Ivankov back because he's easier to get rid of. And then we're going to go ahead and restand one of these Sanjis. Looks like he might have got a trigger here. Don't really know of any amazing trigger that could screw us over right now. He's going to go ahead and KO the Law, which is an interesting play, but not one I particularly agree with. So I think we're just going to go max on Sanji right now. If we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on Sanji, it would be an 11k. He might be able to get out of that. So I think in that case, I'll just play safe. And then I will drop another Ivankov. Or I can go 1 on here, I go 9, and then I'll play 2 drops, which I think I like a little better. And I always forget, oh, you get a buff from Sanji. Oh, he actually didn't have counter anyway. So not the best display. Obviously, I am not the best player at this deck. I should have played a card and then gone for Sanji because they only get the buff at 5 or less cards in hand. We had 6. But decent game there against a probably not so decent deck. But anyways, let's go into our last match of the video. And last up here, looks like we've got an Enel. So Enel, I probably want to just go turbo and go first here. Looks like we get the... what is this called? I Can Never Doubt a Woman's Tears on 1. We will look at the top card of the deck, buff our leader. What do we reveal? We reveal that. Weird, it didn't show up at the top. And then we will just play a 2 cost on 1, which is always strong. Another great reason why I run this card. Some people run the version that's like a counter event, and it kind of does the same thing. But I don't really like that version. Just because you have to keep Dawn up, which isn't amazing with this deck, especially when you want to be going turbo and maximizing your turns. So this one also allowing you to play stuff on 1 is really strong. This here, I'm guessing, is an Onami, so I'm just going to swing 6 first, and then I'll play the Usopp. Or I can play the Sugar, actually swing into the Shiori. I don't know if that's probably not right. I'm just going to swing 6 first. And to see what he does here. If that's an Onami, maybe he takes and lets it pop our, yeah, completely fine. Definitely don't care about that, and that's a beautiful top 5 that we will definitely be taking. So we'll be drawing this Ivankov on the next turn to another Usopp, which we probably want to do right now. And from there, I think we want to draw another Ivankov into this Rosinante. So like that start, let's get it going. Opponent now on 4 Dawn. He'll swing 5 at lead, and I think we'll just take that one. I'm going to play a 4-drop Okiku here, which is no surprise to anybody. And at this point, I think we're just going Ivankov Sanji and calling it a turn. So we'll swing 5 first, most likely going to take. Of course, he's going to get a trigger. We are playing Enel, what is new. And then going to get a Enel 7 cost out of hand, followed by most likely, yeah, like something like an Amaru, something with no counter. So we'll play the Ivankov here, we'll deploy the Usopp, start placing on top. Now we can actually play this the next Ivankov into something else if we wanted to. I wish we had a Law, but we don't. I think the Rosinante is good enough. And then I think we want to draw into a 2k because we only have 1 in hand right now. And then we will be playing the Sanji as it has no counter in hand, but it's also the best card we can have on board. Now with no board for him to swing into, this is probably going to be a pretty weird turn for him. Going 6. We use our 2Ks while we can. We don't really care about low hand sizes right now. 7 with 4 Dawn remaining. I guess that's another Okiku. Yeah, which it is. And let's start going crazy this turn. So remember, with this Ivankov, it is going to play something off the deck. So let's make sure to use leader effect first before we do that. Going to go 7 with Sanji first, I think. Let's go ahead and do that. He will most likely take. Would not be surprised, yeah, if he gets a trigger there, which is, definitely didn't see that one coming. I kind of did, but, you know what's new with this deck? So probably just going to go 7. Restand Sanji by bringing an Usopp to hand. We use card action, bring Usopp back to hand, and restand the Sanji. If he wants to take this, he's going to have to get out of another 7k. Obviously, he gets an impact trigger, which is probably one of the triggers we care the least about. And let's not forget to play this Ivankov off the top before we attack with this Sanji. 9k is going to put him down to 0. Fortunately, he finally doesn't get a trigger, which is pretty rare for this deck. Now on 8 Dawn, his only life healing card at this moment is Katakuri. So if he doesn't have Katakuri, we might actually be in a great spot here. This is not an easy board to get rid of. This Sanji's at plus 4k. This lasts until your opponent's turn. So this is a 7k right now, and we do have a blocker if he swings too heavy. So he'll go 5 at lead, which kind of makes me think he's definitely going Katakuri. So we'll counter out of that one. He'll go another 6. We'll decide to take that. Trying to get a 2k if we can. Another 6. We'll just go ahead and block that one. And there is the Katakuri because, of course, he has that. And I think we might have to go for game this turn. So going to need to play a card at hand first. Let's hold the sugar just in case he gets a blocker. Shirahoshi is not the worst trigger in the world to deal with, so let's play this Usopp first so we can get the buff from the Sanji. And then start placing on top. We probably want to draw into another 2k just in case we don't win this turn. And then from there, I think we just want more 2ks, so we're going to put all these towards the top. And then let's just go ahead and start swinging. 7k. He probably has the counter already, I would assume. NL can run into some bricky hands, but Shirahoshi's going to instantly fix that. Unfortunately, he did have the Katakuri. If he didn't have it, we were in a really good spot. So at this point, I think we go 7, 5. Yeah, we go 7. 7, bring back this Usopp and restand Sanji. See if he takes here. I assume, yeah, he counters out, which is the right play in this situation. We're going to go ahead and play this Rosinante out of hand. We just need a blocker in this moment in time. Going to swing 9 before this Ivankov swings and draws 1. We'll swing another 5 and then draw that 2k that we put there to put ourselves in a decent spot not to die next turn. So 1 blocker on board. 2 2Ks, a handful of counters. If he has a Maru here, okay, he actually is playing a Yamato, which is not the worst thing in the world. If he leaves, we just need to hope Ivankov stays on board, which is not going to be easy. Oh, but if he goes at Sanji, that's actually really good for us. So we'll counter out of that. He's going to go at Ivankov. We'll go ahead and counter out of that as well. He'll go there, which we unfortunately have to give. And at this point, I actually don't think we can win. The heal from the Yamato... Oh, wait, no, we have 4 swings. Oh, wait, we can win. Hold up. Hold up, let me cook! Alright, wait. Let me do the math. We just need to hope for not crazy triggers. Sugar can save us from a blocker as well. So, we need to swing with Usopp first. It's to restand Sanji. So let's go ahead. So we can go 7. We can do 7 and then 7, 7. Okay, I think we might be able to get this. So let's go 7. He can't counter out. We just need to hope for no broken triggers here. Good. Good. Okay. We're cooking. 7. And then 2 on lead is another 7. And then we have 2 extra for a sugar. Do I go 8? I can go 8. And then hope he doesn't get a trigger. I think that's probably the better play. I mean, what are the odds that he has a 2k and a 1k in hand right now? Probably pretty high. I think I'm going to go 8. This could be wrong. But if I'm wrong, I'm a bot. And he gets no trigger there. Fantastic for us. We're going to go 8-8, and we're going to see what happens, team. 8-9, actually. We just need no trigger. Bring back the Usopp, restand the Sanji. Hello? Why can't I restand? Oh my god, he has more than 7,000 power! Oh my god! Oh no! No, I forgot it only restands 7Ks and he was at 8K. Oh my god, I'm sorry guys. We actually had that. Look at his hand. We could have won. Damn. Anyways, that was a good game. A lot of misplays throughout this video, guys. I'm no expert on this deck, but if you do want to be an expert, I think this is probably the deck to try to master for sure. And that is going to be the video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. This leader actually was a lot more fun than I thought he'd be. Got some really funny games in, and I think I actually showed the power that this deck can have. You'd think a deck full of 2-drops really wouldn't be strong unless you're Zoro, but this deck can actually hang just a bit. It is very, very reliant on getting Ivankov and this Sanji, I think. I think these are the two, like, ways you can pretty much guarantee a win with this deck. If you don't see these guys, it's going to be really rough. Fortunately, though, we do have things like Usopp and Duvall, which can, you know, manually search for them. We can sort through our top 5 like I did in a couple of those games and try to find these earlier, or, you know, just know if we need to bottom deck stuff and try to find them in another way. So really, really fun deck, and I think going crazy with the 2-drops was definitely an interesting way to play with this deck, but it was a lot of fun for sure. If you want to try out the deck list, guys, it is on screen right now. And I will actually put the deck list in the description as well if you just want to copy it right into the sim. Really fun deck, and I really wish people would talk about it more, but that is going to be the video, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to head out of here. Peace.